and welcome to Sparkle and Chill. Today we're going to do a little whip and chat. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Today we're going to continue working on Gus here. As you can see, I haven't gotten too terribly far. I was able to get this first little short row and then just part of a little bit more than a block and like a fourth of that block. And I'm hoping that I can get some stuff done. Well, I'm going to move this just a little bit so it's a little closer to me. And see if I can get this to sit properly. Anyways, so it has been a good day. Hope everybody's doing well, and you've, if you're working on a diamond painting, pull up and listen, or you know, whatever you're doing. I don't know what. Usually, when I'm watching other people's channels, I've either got somebody on in the background, or I'm working on something myself. So, do you guys do that too? Oh gosh, I'm trying to make sure. I like the overhead light. I have my light pad, but I don't have it sitting right here. Well, actually, I have one there. I could put up the light pad. That might be easier. Let's do this. Let's grab the light pad while yikes. While I'm thinking about it. Maybe. The only reason I'm doing this, the light, for whatever reason, is glaring. And it's causing me not to see very good. Okay, now did I get that right? I did. Now if I can just find my... Leave it to me to be really prepared, huh? I don't know why that's not wanting to come. Okay, here we go. Because if I can get this on and turn off the overhead one. Sometimes the overhead light is better than this with my glaucoma, and sometimes it's not, and right now it's not. As you can hear, Happy Puppy playing in the... Okay, so I'm gonna do this. Okay, that's gonna look a little bit dark for you, but that's better on my eyes right now. Okay, I think we're good to go now. Oh, goodness. It's been a day. It's been a long day. Millie is doing really well. And I realized after I got my video up, I never finished telling the story about taking her to go get the shots and the cost of vet care that I started to bring up, and then kind of got sidetracked with Millie. She kind of sidetracks me a lot. Lately. Okay, let's get this. So it's been a great few days, but on Saturday we went to a mobile vet to get her shots because I was quoted. So in 1998, when I got one of my first puppies as like 3 dogs ago. It was like $250 for the puppy plan, right? And that included all their shots and you know, everything you needed, you know, their wellness checks, all that stuff. It covered everything. And I think with Sophie, it might have been like $350 for the puppy plan. And do you know what I was quoted at the same vet that I've taken my dogs to since 1998? I was quoted $900, and it didn't even include the spay. And I was in shock. I was like, are you kidding me? So I was like, okay, so we got to figure something out. So I started calling around, trying to figure trying to figure out what to do because $900 was more than I expected it to be for shots. I mean, I knew it was going to be more expensive than it was, but I was thinking maybe $500, you know, and no, $900, and that didn't include the spay. And then the spay is supposed to be like $700. I'm like, that's a lot. That's a lot. A lot more than I anticipated it being. And this is a little dog. We're not talking a great big huge dog. It's not like, I mean, the spay, they always say the biggest cost to that is, you know, depending on the size of your dog. And I'm like, she's like, apparently she's 5 pounds now. When I took her to the vet, she had been 2.90 pounds, but when I took her to the vet, she weighed at 5 pounds. I'm like, whoa, she grew fast because it's only been a couple weeks. I think what it was when I got her, she had this parasite, and so she was very thin, and I think that was why she was probably underweight a little bit because of that, because she gained quite quickly once we got that taken care of. Millie, no jumping, please. Just play with your toys. Play with your toys. And this playpen has come in handy, but I don't know how long I'm going to be able to use it because she literally can jump to where her little head is coming up. Millie, no. No. Now stop it. I'm going to just angle that over. Can you see that? What are you doing? She's gonna pop out of there one day. I'm gonna have to zip you in. Do I have to zip you in? Do I have to zip the top on? Huh? Do I have to zip the top? Did you see that? Come here. I'm not getting much diamond painting done. No, I'm not. I'm not getting much diamond painting done. You want to say hello? Say hello. Hello there, everybody out in YouTube land. Hello. She's not the cutest thing in the world. I don't know what is. Yes. I am of the belief that the reason that they're so cute is to keep them alive till they become orderly little beings. Okay, in there. I'm going to get something to drink real quick, and I'll be right back. You need to lay down and chill for a little bit, baby girl. Where my water cup went, so we'll just drink the last little bit of this one from yesterday. Okay, so anyways, where was I? Millie, you need to chill. No more jumping. No, knock it off. No, stay down. Play with your toys. She's just determined to bounce out of there. Okay, we're going to zip the top then. Do I need to zip the top? Yeah, we're going to have to zip the top on. If you're going to try to jump out. She's like, wait a minute. I didn't know you could do this to me. This is a great little playpen. All right, she's zipped in. She's not going to be able to pop out. She just jumped up and hit her head on the top. Oh my goodness. Okay, so dog antics aside. So I was told it was going to cost $900, and then it was going to cost another $700. Well, close to $700 to get. I think it was like $600 and some odd dollars I was like, you gotta be kidding me. So I started calling around. I was like, well, we gotta figure this out, because I'd already spent $250 on her having that little parasite, and I'm like, we gotta figure this out. And the parasite's taken care of. I do have to go in for another fecal sample and make sure that it's gone, but she's eating, she's gaining weight, and she seems fine, and she's adjusted to her food. I've slowly been changing her over to a better dog food than what they were giving her. And she's doing really well. She has pretty much, she's like really wanting to get out of there. She has exceeded my expectation in a lot of things. She's pretty much potty trained, and that has been a shock to me. And she's crate trained very easily. She's having a hard time because I'm sitting here, but I work from home, which is kind of nice because I know exactly how she's doing in the crate. And she goes in the morning, and she cries. Well, she was originally crying for about 10 minutes, but for the last week, she hasn't cried at all when I first put her in. She cries after my first break. When she goes back in, she cries for about 10 or 15 minutes. And then she realizes, okay, I guess I gotta go to sleep, and then she goes to sleep. The great thing is I put potty pads down because she doesn't have her shots yet, and I don't want her out on the ground. We have too many people who let their animals. I live in an apartment complex, and there's just way too many people that are irresponsible pet owners, and they just let their dogs go wherever, and they don't always clean it up. And I just don't want her to get sick because of somebody who doesn't take care of their dogs, and you just never know what's going on, right? So anyways, you're fine, honey. Just lay down for a little bit. Just play with your toys. So, but she pretty much goes over to her potty pads and does her business every time. She's had a couple accidents right the first week, but she hasn't had any since then, which is amazing to me. When people tell me that their dog's potty trained in a couple weeks, I never believe them. I always think, oh yeah, right, sure they did. And she's potty trained in that if she is gated into the living room, she will go over there, but I don't know that she would be real good, without the whole house, with having access to the whole apartment, because that just gets harder to remember where you're supposed to go. So she's only loose running around on the floor in there, and then she sleeps with me at night, and she's been sleeping, believe it or not, until 6 a.m. And because I still get to sleep, my job doesn't start till 8, and I work from home. I get up at 6, have her do her business, and then I put her in her crate and I go back to bed, because when I take her back to bed with me, she just wants to play because she's awake. So I started just taking her back to her crate. She just goes in and goes to sleep, and then at 7 o'clock, I get up and I let her out, and she runs around and eats, and I get ready for work, and then I play with her for about a half hour while, after I get, ready for work, and then I play with her for a little while, and then I go to work, and she goes back in her crate, and she's been awesome. Just really awesome. I don't like having to put her in the playpen while I do this, so I haven't gotten a whole lot of diamond painting done, because, well, I feel bad about having her in her crate all day and then putting her in a playpen while I play. But you're okay. You're okay. But I need to be able to get this done. And letting her be in the living room unsupervised, even while I'm just sitting here and it's just like literally on the other side of this table, she gets into stuff. So she kind of needs to be in the playpen when I can't be actually watching her, or into her kennel. And I think she would cry louder if she could hear me and she's in the kennel. So this is what we've opted to do. And normally it works, but she's a little worked up. Oh, so cute though. They're trying to jump out. Okay. So this painting has been really fun. It does have a lot of 3/10s, but They aren't bad. I think it's the squares that make 310s so bad because they tend to have a lot of tabs. I don't think that it's easy to see the tabs on the 310s when they're squares. But I haven't had any issues at all, and it's actually gone pretty fast. I do love a good round kit for that reason, especially after you work on squares. Doing it round seems like really fast. It just seems like it's going to go really fast. But I haven't had the amount of time that I need to have to really sit down and work on this. But she's starting to calm down, and once she gets used to the diamond painting routine, the last couple nights I haven't felt like doing anything. I did my last video, and then I've had, I haven't done any diamond painting. It's Tuesday as I'm, it's Tuesday evening as I'm recording this, and I just haven't done any diamond painting since I think Sunday. Last night I was just too tired, and tonight I thought, if I'm going to get another video done, I better get it done, you know. I've been looking at, so the other thing I wanted to talk about was the anniversary drop for Diamond Art Club. I found out some things about myself that was really good. So I've been really trying to, you know, not go crazy in buying things. I have a specific budget that I've given myself for all things fun is basically what I call it. That includes diamond painting or going out to eat or, you know, anything that's outside of the normal scheme of things. And so I only have X amount of dollars a month that I'm allowing myself to do that because I'm trying to save money. One, I got to get a dog spayed, and I got to get, oh, I didn't finish that. My gosh, my brain has been going crazy. So what I found, let's finish this up and then I'll go to the Diamond Art Club. So I found a mobile vet that goes around, and they charge $2.95 for the entire pet package, which includes all their shots, the ID thing, the, what do they call that? I can't think of what it's called. The little thing that tracks them, the microchip. Yeah, that's what I was trying to think, microchip. So all of that for just the $2.95 plus deworming and something else. So they get all their shots and they get all their vet visits, which that's what the expense is really on the shots at the other places. They're charging you a vet visit for every time you walk in the door to get a shot. That's ridiculous. And so these guys aren't, and they were very good, but it was kind of interesting. So I drive out there to where they do their thing, and we're all you know, and it's a first come, first serve type thing. And they only do so many because they've only got a really short time period to do it in. It's like an hour and a half that they're there, and then they move to another location for another hour and a half. So we're waiting, and when I left the house, it had started raining. Like it was pouring. When I opened the door, it was pouring, and I grabbed my umbrella, and I'm like, okay, and then it stopped pouring. It was kind of funny. We got to the car, got in, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be fun. The rain stopped. I'm driving. I'm like, okay, it's not going to be too bad. The rain stopped, and then I left the dog in the car next to where I was to go stand in line, because they said you could do that. We could get the dog out in time. So I left her in the car in her little crate, and I had my umbrella, and a downpour hits, and there's, you know, there wasn't a ton of people. There was like 8 people there with their waiting, and it was just coming down. Like the clouds opened up and dumped out the rain. It was pretty funny. And so I was kind of like, glad I remembered my umbrella, and I felt bad because there was a couple guys that were sitting there. They didn't have umbrellas, and they were just getting soaked. I was wearing shorts and kind of flip-flops, not flip-flops, but slide-on shoes, so they not going to get my feet wet. And so we waited, and they were having their lunch in the van while we're all standing outside in the rain. I'm like, if I was them, I'd like go ahead and do the deal and then eat your lunch. But I think because they have to service people between a certain time, that wouldn't work very good because they had to go to another place afterwards. But so we were like, okay, you know, we're going to stand here and wait in the rain. So an hour of waiting, and then this guy that got there after me jumped in line when they put the thing up, and I'm like, dang. And they're like, oh, don't worry, we're going to get to everybody. And I'm like, not so worried about them not getting to me. I was more worried about having to wait longer in the cold, you know, because I had been there first, and he ended up being first in line when everybody else had gotten there before him, because he happened to go up to the tent to get out from underneath the rain. So when they started the sign up, he was sitting right there completely out of line. And that was a little annoying, but, you know, it is what it is. And anyways, when they told me, so then she had her shots, and they gave me the little thing with the wormer, and I got to go back in a couple weeks, I think 3 to 4 weeks, to go back and get the next round. And she did very good. I really hate the way the vets do things now, because they take your animals away and you don't get to be in the room with them while they're doing everything. So you don't really get to ask questions and stuff while they're doing the exam and whatnot. And so, but anyways, it ended up being $95 for the first round. It'll be $95 for the next one, and then $95 for that. And they do everything that needs to be done. So all the way up to the rabies shot and everything. So I was really happy with that, and she did really well. So yeah, so that was and I was soaked. By the time we got back, my feet were wet. I was cold because it, you know, when you stand outside and it wasn't freezing outside, but I think the wet just made me cold. Anyway, so that was our Saturday. And we will go again in 3 weeks and do it all over again. So I wanted to talk about, if you guys have had animals, does that sound about right, what the cost of things is? I'm going to be getting her pet insurance as well for accidents and illnesses, and that kind of thing. But I just need to get the shots going. So the other thing, so Diamond Art Club dropped on the anniversary sale, I guess, 100 canvases. And it's so funny because I was like, you know, that was right after I had done my video, and I was frustrated with them, and I'm still frustrated with them. But as I said in my video, it doesn't mean I'm not going to buy their kits. It doesn't mean that I don't like their kits. What it means is I'm not involving myself in the FOMO and the frenzy buying. Oh, I have to get it or I'm not going to get it thing. I think that fear factor they put you in, which is real. I mean, they are, and they did say, I did hear, so any of you that didn't get anything at Diamond Art Club for the anniversary sale, they said everything that sold out will be restocked in 90 days. That's what they said, and they said in 90 days. So people count off from that date and be ready, because that's when, if there's something there that you wanted, would be the best time to start looking, and maybe even a few days before, just start, you know, stalking the website to see if there's anything there. But I wanted to make sure people knew that in case they wanted to get things. There wasn't really anything that I really was like, oh, I gotta have that. I watched Tima's videos that night, and that was fun. She was on with the guy that's helping host the what are you doing? Just a second here. Okay, and we're back. The joys of it's kind of like a baby. I smell a stinky diaper. She normally doesn't go in there, but occasionally she's locked in there. She doesn't have any way to go where she's supposed to go, right? So, but she holds it all day, so. But anyways, So what was I saying? So anyways, I got the, oh, we were talking about Diamond Art Club. So I was watching Tma, and the people that were on there, and they were like strategizing. This was some interesting strategizing I was watching. I mean, they were strategizing while they were showing, the drops, what they were and everything. They were strategizing on how they were going to get what they were going to get. And my goodness, and I know they buy because what they do is they work on doing some of the kits in the sparklers. Is that what they're called? Sparklers. Yeah, the fancy gyms. So they sell kits to juice up your diamond painting. So you can buy from them what they've figured out to be a really nice way to add extra ABs and diamond and dust drills and that kind of thing. So they buy a lot of kits. I mean, each of the people that were there were buying like 10 to 15 kits. It was crazy to me. I can't even imagine. I mean, the most I've ever done is I think 3 or maybe 4, but they weren't like big kits like I did. So, I mean, it was watching them try to order things and getting them, and watching the frenzy of that was pretty interesting to me. I didn't join in any of the frenzy. There wasn't anything that looked like I needed to have it. So I waited and I watched, and I watched the kind of the different things that were coming down, because I hadn't watched any of the sneak peeks. I've kind of made it a point. I'm not watching sneak peeks right now. I'm not doing any of that because I really don't want to get into the, oh, I want to have that kind of mentality right now. I'm over it. And so I was just watching, and there was one, the succulents, the pretty succulents. I've got all 3 of the small ones. I don't know why I felt like I think when I saw it, I thought, I have those other ones. It would be nice to have the set and be able to hang them together if I wanted to. So I waited like an hour. I was just watching what was going on and watching the frenzy, and things didn't sell out quite as fast as they have on other things. I don't think there was a lot that was like super popular. I mean, there was probably a few that were like, people felt like they had to have them, but a lot of them, I didn't really see them moving that fast. But maybe that's just me because I wasn't in the middle of the frenzy. I was just watching it, and slowly things vanished, and I just kind of was like, and I thought about it, and this is what I like to do. I like to be able to think about, do I really want something, or and finally, when it was still there, like an hour or so later, I thought, oh, this isn't as popular one, which is fine for me, because I was able to just go over and purchase that. And I also added to it, so I want free shipping. I added to that order a steel multi-placer. They only had a 5. I really wanted to find the 4, but I couldn't find it. So they haven't had it sold out for a long time. So I thought, well, the 5 is close enough. We'll just get that one. So I ordered that one, a set of dazzles, and I was done. And it didn't, and I wasn't concerned. If something sold out, it was going to sell out. That's all there is to it. I wasn't worried about it. And I really like that more calm feeling of, okay, I really like this one. It's 25% off. I don't have to go crazy. I can just, buy the things that I want, and everything's 25% off. So that was really nice. And I got the things that I wanted, and that was that. So I'm not, I had a few people that were thinking that, I was like boycotting or something like that. No, I'm just over the hype and the rush to do everything, and the, you might not get it, I'm at the point where it's like, well, if I don't get it, I guess I don't get it, It doesn't mean I'm never going to buy, but I'm not getting wrapped up in it, and kind of, where you get like, oh, I need to have it, or getting upset if I don't get it, you know. That to me, it's like, you know, it's a diamond painting. I've got a ton of them in the closet. I've got a few under the bed. In fact, I've got to get that out from underneath my bed. I've got to do a complete haul of my closets, and I think what I'm going to have to do is clean out my coat closet and get rid of everything that's up there that I don't need, so I have some place to put my diamond paintings. It's a good reason to have to declutter, right? I have to have room for my diamond paintings. I unbought, oh, that's backwards, or upside down. So, which one was it? I know it's upside down. Where did was it that one? Okay, folks, where was it? I looked away and I lost it. It's not that one. There's one upside down. You're all right, Millie. Ooh, somebody squeaked her toy. There it is. Somebody squeaked her toy. She's so cute. She loves her. I bought her this. So my old dog, my dog Sophie that I had a little lamb chop that a friend bought for her. When I was sick, she went and got me a few things at the store, and she saw this little lamb chop toy, and she got it for Sophie. And it was so cute. So I saw them on Amazon when I was ordering toys for the dog, and I had to get it for her, and she likes it just as much as Sophie did. She's I think that was it. Yeah, I think that was it. If it wasn't, I guess I'm gonna figure it out, huh? Let's see. You're all right, baby. I'm almost done. Well, maybe not almost done, but you made it squeak big. So anyways, I enjoyed myself. I watched people shop, and I was surprised at how many they got, and they were all trying to get like tons of kits. And I guess they have people loan them kits too, so that they can do the designing of them and whatnot. I thought that was really that's really a cool skill, to be able to go in and then you know, pick out the right kind of things to make them even more sparkly, you know, than they are. So that was fun to watch. And Millie, shh, just lay down for a few, would you please? I'm almost done. I just want to get this, let me at least get the black done, and maybe a couple other colors, okay? And anyhow, I had a lot of fun just kind of watching what people were doing, because I was very intrigued on how they did it. They had a whole plan. Millie, you're going to hurt yourself. Now stop it. Come here. Do you want to go play in the other room? Okay, we'll try it. We'll try letting you out and being in the other room where I can hear you but not see you. But you'll be good, okay? Okay. Okay, there you go. All right. I'm going to work over here. You're going to be a good girl. She's hungry. She's hungry. All right, go eat your dinners. I'm going to work on my painting. I'm going to be right here. Okay, let's hope she does good. She was starting to get a little bit too antsy, and I'm not ready to be done yet. So that was kind of that, and it was fun to watch. My shipment has come in. I haven't unboxed it yet. It's still sitting by the door. That is all the diamond paintings I'm going to be getting. I did order, when they dropped the Amazon shipments, I ordered a couple paintings, and they're still, one of them showed up, and the other one will be here I think by Friday or Saturday. So I'll do my unboxing. I don't know if I'm going to do all of it at once or not, but we'll see. And then, yeah, so that's kind of been my week, and I've spent my allowance, so I won't be buying any more of anything. No fun stuff for the next few weeks, because I did that pretty early on, but you couldn't beat the sale. And that was why I decided to do that. And then I had already planned on trying those other things. Oh, those ones aren't. So. This is really nice. There is a lot of black in it, though. My goodness. I mean, but it's so pretty when you get it done, when you get the black pieces on, then you get the other pieces in. It just really, this is going to be really pretty. I'm making this for a friend of mine. Because I can't keep every diamond painting I do, so I try to think of somebody when I'm going to do a painting who it's going to be for, because honestly, I don't want to hold on to everything that I do. I have a book that I keep my budget kits in, and I have, you know, certain ones that obviously I'll keep, like I did my Christmas, which one was that, Blitzen, that I did this last year. And I'll hang that up at Christmas time. I bought a really fun Christmas one too that I'm going to do this next year. And yeah, I think it's gonna. I haven't gotten a tree for a long time because, well, one, they're expensive. But I can't get the live ones anymore because my allergies are just too bad in a small space. So I wanted to find a painting that was a Christmas tree, and I found one. I think it's called Cozy Christmas or something like that. And it's a scene with a cat and a dog and a Christmas tree in a room, and it looks really inviting. And I'm going to get that done this year, for Christmas this year. And so what are you guys working on? Is anybody working on doing the Peggy Collins event? There's a lot of people in this one. My goodness, there's a lot of people. And I'm really excited because it's fun to do something alongside other people. It just makes it kind of fun. Where's the Green Star 39? And I'm really excited about, I don't know that this is going to get done in time, to be honest. Yeah, get a new puppy, they said. It'll be fun, they said. Actually, it has been fun. I am so happy I got her. She's a lot of work. I mean, if you don't, so I joined this group online that's Dachshund Rescue and a couple others, and there was this lady on there, and I'm feeling bad for her because my Sophie was like her little dog that she's got. She was really hard to potty train, and she was just difficult. But I was really sad when she said, I've had to bring her into my bed just to get her to sleep. And I'm like, well, didn't you already plan to do that? I mean, I've never had a dog that didn't sleep in my bed, but I'm single, and, you know, I like, and they don't sleep under the covers and all that. I usually get them a blanket that they can sleep under, but, you know, I've always had my dogs sleeping with me. Since I was a child, the dogs all slept with me. In fact, our family dogs, the person they slept with was me. Growing up, when we had a dog, it wasn't very long before it was my dog. It's kind of funny. Oh, good. She's just playing with her toys. She's being a good girl. Yay! She's being a good girl. She's got this, I bought this little toy. It's got a crinkle paper in it, and she's playing with it. But all the dogs always ended up sleeping with me as a child. And they all became mine. It was like, Kimberly, your dog needs to go out. Your dog this and your dog that. So they became mine very quickly when I was growing up because nobody else wanted to take care of them. And I was very much a natural at taking care of them. It wasn't something I had to be reminded too much about. I was very in tune to their needs, feeding them, everything. So she's been really fun though. She potty trained herself. I can't even explain it. I've never ever seen it happen before. Literally the first day I put down the puppy pads, and I bought the reusable ones, and then she had that parasite, and I ordered some of the disposable ones, and I've been putting those on top of the other ones, so just a little more what you call it, protection for the floor. And she has gone faithfully every time. She doesn't go in her kennel. I come and I take her, my lunch break, I take her out. She does her business. She eats a little and she goes back to bed. And I'm just floored. And she's only, so she was 10 weeks. She was 7 weeks when I got her. So I think she's going on 11 weeks. I think she's going on 11 weeks. She was 7, 8, 9, 10. She might be going on 12. I've got to go back and look at when we got her, or when I got her. But she's been really good. Other than having that little parasite, which was not her fault, you know, it's due to the people that bred her. I was told she was a rescue, or that they rescued her, but they had 3 sets of designer dogs that they were selling, and they weren't selling for exorbitant prices, so at least that was good, but still, they were, you know, Cheweenies and they had Cheweenies, and the other one was a Chihuahua Maltese mix, and those were really cute little dogs. I almost changed my mind, but then as I was looking at all the other ones, this lady showed up, and she was looking at the 2 little puppies. There was only 2 puppies in Millie's litter. No, you're gonna have to wait, little girl. Mama's busy. You go play with your toys. Go play with your toys. I know, Mama's busy for a few minutes. You didn't want to stay in your playpen. And anyways, the 2 little puppies, there was only 2, and there was another lady there to look at the other one, and I had reserved her from, you know, I told her I want the one that has a little spot on her tail, and, you know, one eye has a patch and one eye has the whole face. So the other one had, both eyes were completely covered with the black fur that looked like a real bandit. But she had that cute little, looks like she's got a little band around one eye. And anyway, so she was just, I just thought she was cuter. And so this lady came and she was looking at them. And I'm like, oh, no, this one's mine. And I picked her up. I go, well, I guess I've decided I'm not. And I'm wishing that I had spoken to that lady and got her number, because it would have been fun to get the 2 dogs together, you know. But I don't know where she was coming from, you know. But I just think that would have been fun for Millie. But she's adjusted really quickly, and she sleeps well. She in the first week was like almost no sleep, because she just kept waking up and she wanted to play in the middle of the night. But she's learned if she does that, she gets put in her box, and she don't like that. So she's learned to go back to sleep after getting up to do her business, because she'll wake me up usually at least once in the middle of the night to go, which I'm glad she wakes me up. I'd rather do that than have an accident. And I get up and she goes, and then we go back to bed. And then she'll get up again. She's been waking me up at 6, and I just, I get up, I have her do her business, and then I put her in her box, and I go back to bed for an hour, because I know she's not going to go back to sleep. At that point, she's going to want to play, and then I'm going to get angry with her, because I want to sleep. So, and that's worked really well. She just goes to sleep, or in the box, and she doesn't even cry. She cries later. She cries. It's like she can tell time. It's kind of amazing. If I'm even 2 minutes late from for my break, she's like crying, and I'm like, gosh, how does she? Because she'll be quiet, not making any noise or anything, and then all of a sudden she's crying, and I'm like, look at the clock, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm supposed to take a break. And on my breaks, she gets to play and do her business, and then she goes back into her kennel, and she goes right to sleep. It's really pretty amazing. I was listening to this other lady. She was asking for help because she just got a dog. It's probably about the same age as Millie, little dachshund, and it's having a really hard time. But she was like, I couldn't believe it when she's like, oh yeah, I'm bringing it into my bed. I know I shouldn't. And I'm like, why shouldn't you? Dogs are pack animals. They don't want to be by themselves. That's why they're crying in the night. You know, you gotta, it's one thing when you're working, but at night, I mean, when else do they see you? You know, they see you for a few hours if you're working. Millie, what are you doing? What are you getting into? Huh? What are you getting into? Did you eat your dinners? She's got some food over there. And anyways, well, we're doing good, and she is happy and healthy and funny. Oh my gosh, she's so funny. I got her this little round bed that's got a little flap on it for her to burrow into. And first thing, I mean, when she first got it, she was like hiding in there playing peekaboo. It was so cute. It was so cute. So that was a good find. And what else? So that's pretty much, it's been puppy around here. That's been the highlight of my day every day. She's very much, when I come out for my break, she wants to come sit in my lap for a minute and then get down and play. And it's so sweet. She just wants to come see me first, and then she's happy to, I think I can use the other one. Then she's happy to go get in her kennel when it's done, but she wants that snuggle time, which I love, because, I mean, who doesn't like to snuggle with a little puppy dog? If you don't, well, there's something wrong with you. Just saying. Because puppies are antidepressant medication, I'm telling you. And she is hysterical. And, yeah. So life here, Sparkle and Chill, has been pretty darn good. And, yeah, she's just been a lot of fun. And I can't wait until she can, go out for walks. I had this gal when we were waiting at the vet, I had her in her kennel, and they're like, well, why don't you just put her on a leash and she can wait, with the other dogs? I'm like, because she hasn't had her shots yet. And she goes, well, how do you have it go to the bathroom? I'm like, on potty pads? I think that disgusted her. She was like, oh, you're training it to go in the house? I'm like, well, the other option is they get some kind of disease. She goes, well, that's dedication. I'm like, you don't have that kind of dedication when you get a dog? I know, I have never, this is the first time that I've done this, but it's also she's so tiny, and when everybody was telling me about the things that are going on out there, I was like, yeah, I don't think I want her to go outside until she's got her shots. And so she's not. She's being very good, and you know, I've never done it this way before, but I would do it again with the right dog. I mean, honestly, she's been so good. I'm really thankful. I think I'm very fortunate that she's learned very quickly, and I know that because I went through it with my last dog. Oh my gosh, Sophie took 8 or 9 months to potty train. It was terrible. I was like, what am I gonna do? And it was funny because I was listening to all of the things that the people were saying. Don't get mad at them. Don't spank them. Don't yell at them. Just move it. Take them outside when they have an accident and show them where they're supposed to go. And so I was doing all of that. And then one day we had walked for, I don't know, a couple miles or something. We'd gone out and we'd walked and walked and walked, and we came in and she went right on the floor the minute we walked in. I was so mad. I spanked her and I put her outside. She never did it again. I'm like, are you telling me all I needed to do was spank you and put you outside? You would have stopped this a while ago. So, but Sophie was very headstrong, very headstrong. That's a very big dachshund trait. They're very headstrong. And she was definitely got the personality of a dachshund. And Millie's been really easygoing, and very affectionate. Anyways, I'm sorry, I'm probably boring y'all by going on and on about my new dog, but that's pretty much what's going on in my life. A new dog, new job. I can't really talk about my job here because that's not okay with my employer, so I am not going to do that. And other than sometimes, you know, things are hard, but it's actually been really good. And I am trying to plan what to do when I get done with Gus here. I need to work on my minis. I'm behind on my butterflies and on my puppy dogs, but we will get those worked on this week as well. I'm going to have to figure out a way to do it. I'm just going to have to start doing an hour a night of, you know, various different things, but I think trying to get this done in the time frame that I have, that's why I don't usually do events. So I don't know that I'm going to worry too much about whether I get done in time, but I kind of did want to get done in time because I want to go back to working on the other Peggy Collins I started. I should have just used it for this, but I kind of like the idea of, you know, a start to finish in a month and see if I can do it, you know. And I know I can. It's just finding the time. It's having Millie be okay with me doing what I need to do. Actually, she's being really quiet over there. I wonder if she's napping. I'm going to check real quick. Let me see. Yeah, she's in her bed sleeping. Yay. That works really good, huh? So I can get as much as I want to get done as long as she's napping. So yeah, it's really fun. She's very playful. She does this little thing where when I'm playing with her, she jumps sideways onto her little bed. She's like bounces up onto it. It's so cute. So that is kind of what's been going on here. Lots of puppy antics. And honestly, it's what I wanted. I wanted puppy antics. It's been since, so Sophie passed away on January 23rd of 2023. So almost 3 years. well, more than 3 years, because 2026, January of 26 of 2026. 23, 24, 25, 20, yeah, 3 years. So, and it took me 3 years after my dog Max passed away before I got Sophie too. It takes me a while to get a new dog just because, you know, it's hard when you lose them to then just get another one. And some people do it, and I just never have been able to do it because I don't know. But I love the bright colors in this. It's really nice. So what have you guys been doing? And does anybody, I know that there's several different creators that have just gotten new puppies. My friend Colleen, she just got 2 puppies. Her puppy Pixie passed away, and then they just got 2 new ones from what I was able to see. So that's kind of fun and exciting. And then Rami at Diamond Painting with Coco, she got a new puppy. And somebody else got a new puppy. I can't remember who it was. Oh, I missed those. So I guess I was feeling left out. I'd been looking for a dog since, when was it? I think it's been about 6 or 8 months that I've been looking, that I've been wanting one. But I didn't really have the finances to get one, and so I was waiting till I got a job, and then I got the last job that I got that just didn't work out. And I had been planning on getting one then, and then I was like, no, and it didn't work out, so I was glad I didn't. And so now it's just time. Oops, I poured way too many of those out. I only need 4, and I poured all of these in here. Ay, ay, ay. That's all right. So I think my plan, tomorrow's Wednesday. This video will probably go up on Thursday morning because I try to spread mine out because I only do 2 a week. Occasionally I've done 3 a week, but I really try to just do 2 a week, mostly because I just don't have time. And it's hard to think of when you're single and you live alone, it's kind of hard sometimes to figure out what to talk about. But it's been easy with the dog and her antics. But yeah, I just don't want to drone on and on about nothing, which I think I'm probably rambling by now. I'm usually good for about 20-30 minutes, and then the rambling begins. And I apologize. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video today. I'm probably gonna sign off because I don't have a whole lot more to say that's gonna start sounding kind of just rambly, goobly goop, so to speak. But I hope you enjoyed the video. And I know what I wanted to say. Thank you everybody that's jumped on in the last, let's see, it's been about 4 weeks, and things have sort of exploded, and I'm kind of in shock a little bit. I went from having just about 100 subs to now almost 400 subs, and I've gotten videos that got 3,500 views, which is crazy. Because before I was getting between 30 and 40, maybe 50. A couple times I got 100. It just really depended, but it's kind of crazy. So I just want to thank you all for, I think part of it is that YouTube finally started, trying my stuff out in the in the algorithm, and so people have been seeing it because it tells you kind of how some people found you, and so a lot of it is that it's just been being pushed out, so that's kind of nice. And then yeah, so it's been really fun to kind of look at the numbers and go, wow, when my videos used to get 30 watches total, now all of a sudden they're getting 30 in an hour, you know, which is kind of cool. So thank you for joining, and if you've subscribed, thank you. If you haven't subscribed but you're enjoying the channel, subscribe, you know, hit the bell, do all the things, and come along. I'm not terribly exciting, I don't think, but I try to talk about things that people would, uh-oh, okay, I'm not going to be picking that one up. Great. Or can I? Can I reach it? I just dropped the lid. And this little area that I'm in, it's hard to bend down without hitting your head on something. I'm going to have to put her bed over where I can see it next time I do this, and then she can be out there and do that. She just decided to go to her bed and lay down in it, so that's a good thing. All right. So yeah, so welcome, and thanks for coming, and I hope you come back, and yeah, so thanks so much. And I just lost my train. When I say the other day, the train has left the station, but the caboose got left behind. Anyways, like, subscribe, tell your friends. I'll see you next time. Bye now. Oh, I don't think that's on.